Ghana ye do baby and I think first no na yes oh nya hwe we men kasa don't descend into the gutter. They say we will descend everywhere. We are not going to descend into the gutter. We be descending everywhere where there's wisdom and knowledge, and just pump some energy and positive energy and some wisdom and knowledge into some. There are issues we on my was here can now. No research about it. Say Ghana for inflation from economy is doing well, but people are not feeling it in their pockets. But these are all, like I'm saying, political assassins. These are political assassins. Yeah, more juma to do a certain kind of work. No more say a juma na backfire. Political assassins. Me say this attack on Ashanti region here. Bibiana. I mean, what the man from Munkwechi? There was an agenda to create Galamsey impression. Say instead from a Kufuado time, there was an agenda. Say instead of raising issues about say Galamsey, no, we are not dealing with it. No. They made effort to blame Nana Otunfo say to Abebio open so say oh no. There was consistent attack. Obiaba no Otunfo na have Ghana problem. So Abrante are making any disciples or cruise to be the same agenda and Otunfo. Meanwhile, Galamsey be Eastern region. Galamsey to be Western region. Galamsey to be Central region. I have you too. North, yeah, Galamsey were North in because Ghana is so rich to say, go near to be North in Yunaka. But the agenda you blame you too for. Who you now catch on say, now you will law, even constitution, all minerals in Ghana, there was assassination, there was assassination. It is for the president, it is for the people, but it's vested in the president. And you found here, Minerals Act. Into mineral beer gold or diamond or oil the beer Japan classified as mineral biano. It is vested in the president for the people of Ghana. And yet almost share that agenda. Say Galamsey no 2-4. Into a big canal kokoti law nature and the party. Oh, and no 2-4 or respect. And no 2-4 or way into honor. Mandate ben or so our respect are granted. Mandate ben or because of respect into no 2-4 to 1 year, you know. So I respect no because I can't have for there. I have for all respect to this. So baby, I then no man caucus a year friends a Western region I have for. I then no man caucus say the Biana and no 2-1 no bet me stop it and another and assassin so there. And so Mona Motia Cran among mining licenses. A coup for the time by license I hear the Maya. It was in a car. Obi any one of my own mining license no. Obebusa a Otum was open mining license. And Obebusa or Chehne, and Obebusa Tobuya Fede, Obia or he Minister of Mines and Natural Resources or Takran or mining license, or the Kwane as a Fako Chrome District or Nako District Assembly, new local or here. But it is issued in Accra. That's the law. Issued in Accra. And so agenda setters. I said I him blame me or two for make him look bad. It's sad. You see, regions now what Ghana including North, ABC, Jamakra penny into good, you're too good. All the your 16 regions, they move by 15 or 30, you're too good, or a Yagalam said me, but you want to blame one person. I was already Maminchi and I'm Aquaban and Nevim lady were descended down now were match NDC for boot pa. Nititi Kevin Taylor and now Mark Kevin Taylor who said in some trajumano, Ibinimu de can woman son or no neighbor. And when ya dies in Konya baby mupa na face so NPP among by a project a hot warm year you mu to one almost free home and the NDC for among 70 or 1 person model Monsabe Kaniakas NPP na ye. The sentinel Nana Baba Yara who said, my win is say the air or mine or a casrusro and a debroma and a vimle de nyada je wurum na me mame kasa nwa bebre no a yenji bre na yenhwe kwan and a vimle de afaswa wa kire nsem mu titiro ni atenie a free NDC amonyoku ho no mo ba ni nyina ne se wo mo twabo NPP fo wonu mu twabo ya hemfo wonu mu twabo ya sofo na esusu enei NDC from penifo ntimi ma bonten e ma me ka kire maburu se wonu mu njai na penifo ye di o matem te se gie kofo no e mfa so bia e mre ye enti ndani ma hudo bebre no na ekoso o man ganem ha no ma mepese obagibre na wonsusu wanya adaji etie mu ni misa vim lady di wono no sebi wonkasa ma NPP wonkasa ma NDC na so no kura no ba bia da no na watumi ede ato me pese obenya daje wada no like video yi mame na afi so for adwenkyere bra na share video no susu mane kwa bonte mame
na no research about it say Ghana for inflation come from economy is doing well but people are not feeling it in their pockets. People are not feeling it in their pockets. So the onus is on the government of the day. Say Obema nkofo feel in their pockets. Obema nkofo feel. Yeah, me so what make you for a long time. I've been very consistent. Untumi be shaking me. Say me waha and them waha or chana me waha. No. We are on the side of the people. Baby again, we can no longer afford to be neutral. We can no longer afford to be neutral. Adiebo ona wasa wokanka. Sana we NDC full soldier, we NPP full soldier crowd. You cannot afford so because your party until your party be a one or debi. We NPP near or your party be a one or no. And they better NPP for us because this week I think one of the things that NPP people have been trying to do after lose elections is to kind of build the party back. Omatiti committees be the contest. There's more NPP must do than say what committee. Now they can normally are there to so. The fact that what committee they cannot so interested is unity. I'll come back to that issue. Then finally, President Kufone family minority for also send a warning to NDC. But and you warning purpose, so must send a petition, a complaint to NDC say one of their attack dogs. Attack President Kufo, you call that dog to order because what crime minors a crime minor or attacking for me say because soldier a neighbor fee and or crime minor and once over to the chamber one lucky crime minor. So I think that's what they want to do. But there's more to the issue because there's a report that has come up. Press Freedom Index, FBIN internationally. Ghana so ye can enti baby a Ghana one ya sleepy. And we want to look at say press freedom no between Abaye free ho any and net Abaye because President Akufo-Addo Abaye to make I was one of the people who call YouTube. You see the videos, and I said that there was a culture of silence going on at a point under President Akufo-Addo Abaye. You see, that's why I say NDC foot soldiers need be banned on my MPP Taiwan Kasa. Why are you talking now? You cannot blame me for your ignorance and your appointees first. You cannot blame me for your refusal to read and your appointees first. Because me, since I'm here, 20-something years, I've been on consistent. Me too, me the internet to craft fire. Me too, me too, consistently may fire. And if you refuse to see when I criticize President Akufo-Addo, that's on you. That is your so goddamn business. And family, that's your business. Because I cannot force you to learn what you don't want to learn. And I cannot force you to read what you don't want to read. And to President Akufo-Addo, so I'm repeating what I said. Me say, there was culture of silence at the time. And I sat on YouTube and I said this. You video no you can find it. Akufo-Addo, I think President Akufo-Addo, me see the President Akufo-Addo, me on me fine. President Akufo-Addo, on me fine. Because I was one of the people who virtually hounded President Akufo-Addo. Okoye takrade market circle start you as me. I was one of the key people. Many COVID don't cry clashing over that. Who consistently said massa. The who yenye. For that I was consistent on the Akufo-Addo. Very consistent. The videos are all there. If you refuse to go and watch the videos, now the officer back comment section, I will not read the insults. My boys na more pressure, but I'm read because I won't read the insults. I don't read it. I'm too busy. Must be me no say time. Your time you debate at them. No, I don't have that time. Seriously. I don't. And I'm saying that genuinely say me share any fault me near the ideas are now cooking because I can spend that time reading so many things. And the Akufo-Addo asem the kind of me say Akufo-Addo be sitting the President Akufo-Addo me on me fine. Ohum ya me sure so be me. Because on him say under his government one of the people man buying pa very very difficult. Me na me very deep me every day na me fire no. Joe, great day, Pacho Joe. Good evening. Only first person to send a comment. Thank you so much, Joe. And Kwame Gejo, thank you. Kwame, I'll show you the company, organization, researcher, AP something. I'll show you this here. But you see, apart from the organization, research, I mean, say Ghana for ordinary Ghanaians. Bloggers, you chrome nominee for interview. They be more canny and tidy you. And I near my bo, and I say you, and near my you. So the everyday Ghanaians on the ground no are complaining. And one and no more cover electricity boy by you. and one and then we coffee electricity boy by say electricity ni yatum by ye so ye dum no ye hu ye ho no. In fact, and me in-laws mo keta akloboji me frɛ no electricity omutua afie twini o akloboji enye baby echire bi akloboji ya wo keta chese 1200 for electricity adwuma bi ani ho keta factory bi ani keta anglo factory bi ani ho obeka so mo ti wo no ko mo koye adwuma factory ni no mo de pay ni bi aba betua 1200 electricity bill. And the one people are genuinely saying, say, Chroma here, we don't even need the research to tell us, say, pocket dry. We don't need the research. That's the truth of the matter, say, break. And to be fair to Abaya, I won't say Abaya buy on chair, there about 1.5 years. That by now, Abaya should be showing us some job creation here, maybe. And yet, the nano president, Mama Becca, say 3 million jobs or say 1 million jobs. You're fact checking this and you're correct. When we fact check him, we realize that numbers no more, and you're correct. But you see, I want us to move beyond your friend saying politics. I want us to move beyond politics. Now, yeah, should the numbers ni you say job creation. Yeah, maybe when this year politics you health apomoding. And this year a biane hospital yeah abandon no a year for but we 4 year demonstration. Children's hospital more the ultra modern hospital. And say any hospital in Abuja. John Hopkins and baby because just a designers now you abandon no, and then the minister is telling us World Bank 400 over. In fact, say enka your political will ne say bema World Bank 400 over. Enka by now 1.5 years. And they are not kind to World Bank for to me hand over. Because they are hospital no, for the very ordinary person. Meanwhile, the ordinary Ghanaian on only sika or yaro obekwa brochiro. O for it ayaro okwa brochiro. Yeah, mommy, second lady, second lady, vice president. Yeah, mommy, Jena no pokwajima. Yeah, didn't quite approach no. But at least the everyday Ghanaian only sika only this sample. It's not to me quite but this is something we have built for the ordinary person. My point is, a do ordinary person here, they are more funny serious. I see a can now bind here, say. A drew the ordinary Ghanaian idea. Yan money is serious kakra. Na yan prioritizing no. Ni yan just say apomudia ye betimi ahwe na man for enya ho faso a yenya ntem because anybody who would have died in that neighborhood no. They just said that person would have died because of yen negligence. Look at the hospital. Look at the hospital. This is ultra modern hospital. Mami yan kese kwa so that you can see it. Ultra modern hospital. This is an ultra modern hospital. Hang on. Okay. Yeah. An ultra modern hospital. We mean you city FM for the video here. Baby uncle da crache say. Uko abroche say na abroche ti o. Abroche baby labor and delivery. Everything is there. And it's been abandoned to incubator papa bi. Lady yo ko wo kaso yo wu ya man ni labor ya wo see a penny 36 hours. And she died with her baby. So a facility where you biano and uncle I see no bed syndrome. The lady has died. This one way, it doesn't even make sense. It is not rational. So we have such a facility. Now, what me sure say IMF, we cry the son of dormitory. What they are calling now, we bush any hospital. Now we have baby that more cram baby. This is like a thoughtful project. Project anyan sangwom I be bua Ghana mind but abroni be yenti abandon no. Ama people still go to hospital in this day and age. This is a hospital that X-ray in our one-stop shop. And yet they all call hospital. They better just kohana koye X-ray bra. Ufri one ma kohana koye X-ray bra. Ufri one ma kohana bra. This is an ultra modern hospital that ought to be opened. It is a IMF for the World Bank more and I'm causing the delay and patch up. We are putting it to use and we need this to be operational. This may say a brochure hospital, say anetic. Oko brochure hospital, X-ray near MRI. I mean, there's no sense here about abandoning project way. Just it doesn't matter the explanation, it doesn't matter the excuse. This project must see a boom ASAP immediately and immediately. It must work, and we must save lives. There's no reason why in the modern world, it was a 27-year-old young lady or not because no bed into a And you see, Jama and Kane Fama Nyame, na some of these things continue. And to say, Emi Saya, Okada Kobo, 3 hospitals rejected in my branch and we are no. And I always say, we must learn to sue government. And yes, sue government says sue President Mahama. But all these hospitals, Rage Hospital, Police Hospital, Kolebu, government hospitals, it will sue technically you are suing government. Sue them. Sue them jointly and severally. Sue them. Famen, Jamen, Ka Fama Nyaminti, and Yetimu Besinde. Fama Nyame. So an ultra-modern hospital that can save people's lives. Ultra-modern hospital la. We've allowed it to be abandoned. Just say a good, and it's just sad. It's just sad. Protective or minor interest. And then most importantly, the ordinary people now, Omuko jina ebosio due no matter Obama politicians. Eba ordinary Ghanaians ye interest there ehia obia. Politician be na yare sesi anka ye never fa charter flight to crack moon so crack ye never go. But every day people are dying. People are dying. And we are not getting the proper answers. As obia point shada fano. We are Minister of Health. It's not enough so be catch say your friends a World Bank of Patro make sure say this facility na money save lives around that neighborhood no omuni hospital ke see bia gba we honum side no. So this one can be just say if you honum cry and nam do and saying quite and we can be able to save so many lives. What you are saying, I think that you're a candle the kasa utie. I mean, I know from time or your communications secretary the communications director by NDC or Western Region. I know him that. Into Akando, the minimum see a casa obeti. Into another Akando Kajagum. Make sure at least by the end of it shouldn't even get to the end of this year. It was such idea way. It to me, it must start working. It must start working. Then let's also look at this demolition exercise. So several parts of Greater Accra region, especially. Just say. Me who video where I don't TV here, my heart was broken.
I make them listen. Oh, memory. They'll kill me today. I'm not that thing. Hey, so you fair. Make us say mukumi. Parce que fois tu sais. Mon ma bravo da, bravo si oui. Oh preta oui. What you machine is one west swab from. Oh, boss, take on. Masa, me mantari, ye didn't read Granny. Ye big day, yes, you go then. And me, the mama notice. Mama notice. And around 5:30. And I say, my good auntie, meaning a man of Fancoy. A new 24 hours. Meaning a man Fancoy.
Papa no hakwa no kan the breaking makuma no me ni man of Fancoin. Just say a breaking makuma. But you see, I applaud the Greater Accra region. They are a solid work. We must commend them. We must clap for them. We must not just condemn them. What I say, the Greater Accra region for because look, the kind of abuse of assassin. But me, they are a person Greater Accra region for any say. It's not just about some bubu dino. Nipa boni for no mutunton dynama. This is a pensioner. Because this you see, the man a breaking my command what the man would say, me coin, me man idea, me man school fees, yesika, which means that this whole life I was sad dining and you go. But you see, you can't blame him. These are ordinary Ghanaians, most of them no education, no crowd, maybe only be. Papa cried which means wako school kakra. But obi one ma wako school kra onimumra. Number 2, onim lands commission rules new land law onim inti so nipa boni fobi obi sha himfie obi okra nya ohini no obi okra nya hemfo no. Some people in that himfie no ma fa chire no ma ton no mo answer per connection people or more district assembly or a planning department ni ade inti the Greater Accra ministry regional ministry must make sure the heads are rolling. This is not about demolishing the building. In fact, I think that they must even sue all those people, officers now. Permit because they know. And none minister can not from your transfer. But the crux of the matter is Nipa Boni for moment him say baby a Ramsar site. No way a protected land. Yanton E ho ye protected area yen ton Ramsar site do afi a winter ba brochira and no ma wa broche tu eba ho. It must be protected. Ghana, we are one of the very few places on earth ye Ramsar site. But a brony be intini aton. You see, sometimes they focus on politicians, no concerning a fire or money civil servant. If you look at Auditor General report, Abanoa, and it's all the Auditor General reports Abba previously since I've been a journalist. A brony be civil servant, public office holders, and most of the time, because politicians are the figureheads, yeah, they are getting in our commons on a way, and they are enjoying. It's number one, omo tones as in more money by now, because here rapio, we are rounding your money up. We must get all of them. Government must even sue on the behalf of Nkofoi. They are victims. These people are victims. Most of them, yeah, him said the Ghana system here. Oh, Kotan Sasi and Kawas search it. But searching, no, Nipa do send a was called obey me cry. I call a lands commission so for search it. Nipa do send crowd obey me because I make a lawyer so that the lawyer can do a proper search for me. And people take advantage from them, from my handful to boys or more in fear to Nkofo more people, someone knowing very well that this is a protect. In fact, this is a government land. You cannot get any proper title. Which is why and nobody should politicize this thing. It shouldn't be the only thing they say I'm saying and can the regional directorate to ministry, Greater Accra regional minister must sue on behalf of these people. Any approval permit, ne planning, because you protected no beer. We are Juma District Assembly Planning Department, so how you protected, how you Ramsar side. Now, 9 person they should sue all of them. Not you see, until we should have done that work and son for that. That's the only thing that I will find wrong with the Greater Accra region, because we say me being a Tema girl, born and obibese both rooted in Tema. I know Uba Tema from Comty 9, basic Comty 1. Baby a green belt and Kuma Jama yen because Tema earthquake prone area, earthquake see a bit me Jania Kunya. And it is the politicians and their business people, any cronies, and they share children or magic. And they be so to children also turn subsequently a man for because of when himself law money will be a friend of BSP, bona fide third party without notice. Bona fide third party will be to set paper on him now a quarter assassin. Now assassin on him sass nipa na automa anyone and ya and a water amount. And I nipa na auto assassin and assassin there's a question about you be a todada and also affect to amount. So one now quarter assassin unim. You didn't know, you didn't have any reason to know. Unim kwaya o chese o search e kra bia wa hu hwe e na okoto asasina emremu no you are a bona fide third party without notice. Enti ka emremu no ka wo de what asasina ko ni po ton ma wan ton ma ne kwan so a wo wanya nti obi ntumi magi fu so. But you see, when a aban headlander untumi be ye bona fide third party ma wo emremu ma ne nyeye. Nti abroche fo ni nyina asemwe mo fanye esuade na mo ntua Ghana boys will be in your scale, be a person near baby or need to be to quarter plot be a no be a to a man also agino. Or be a funny I didn't say, Yan sorry, I can pass as it. You must search. What I say, Nasa wouldn't search 1 1 ya. Wouldn't to be made the American on remove a bona fide third party without notice. Because only a bona fide third party without notice in Kwano bet me say, Mato assassin names anywhere. Because check our lands commission, who record be a just any pan or two assassin, and Yanidia and a matter to be a bona fide third party Timrano, a bomb home. But I was saying, minister, me Yanni said, before crowd movies and coach because people have invested. But that is not to say just because we're investing, yet to be Budango, and just because we're investing in assassinity, amount title, no, and running there clear. Say assassin, ya yes, because we're see mansion, and yet because we're sitting and near the humo bros, and running straight to law is law. And one and Kawasa will check, but you see, we cannot also take the law in vacuum. Because we cannot take the law in vacuum, say Ghana and baby and go school. 2, baby, I go school grants law no a specialized area you be an enemy. And a lawyers when you be answering a land law. What I say, ain't so what can say chinchinia? What them run about to Ghana for ordinary Ghana for you as a chinchilla being confirmed. No one said assassinate away the answer which is possible. No be any bit to me. So the law must protect all these people because the way a panic come was free and a kamakuma. Min kohe. And that is why I'm saying that politicians who must use the law to protect people like this. And yes, on one can fight it. They must use the law to protect people like this. It's sad. It's sad. Because the one say be bright. Tema mayor, tema MC. Or also, yes, I demolition be what tema. Because tema they are bad. I can't cry. Tema got a sokrani at the containers. Just say, baby, me a call at tema pound jom. It's a well-planned city. I have to say anywhere in Abroach, lane won't pavement. Oko come to 7, come to 4. Lane won't pavement from crane to crank. You can tell. Tema if you come to way, Oko come to way, if come to 7, Oko come to 4, come to 4, Oko come to 1. Just say ya sheshe, chrono nyina ya di lane not to ya it is well planned, regulated. Linear buildings. And yes, I dan way see how ya sheshe lane by lane. Nkruma plan or matter man a champ on fire or the build it first a dansumai. Lane by that money in I got and a pressure and there was sewage pipes in our papa, my whole papa. We are not building a city, we are destroying the city. I none of the Mayan. And I thought that a nana can see a Wanyansano, and now I see a way to be a Bruno. I thought that the name that can be protected a Japadi and none of the Jayamum, the Nkruma the giant, we are destroying it. Tema de chrono cry destroy no. Yet kudos to Epi Bright to protect. She's trying her best to let Tema reclaim his glory because Tema need the glory need a shit for a long time. And it's sad. It's sad that we have allowed our cities. Shall cry just say pavement to cry it's so near to idea. May you find your politics? That's what I'm saying, that we should not do politics with it. A brass will say that we'll whip ourselves into line. Because it doesn't make sense. Dubai a picture. Be a bagana idea, you force a baby to ball a go. You force a baby to messy dying. You can't do it, Mr. Approacher. Who got us as a child even a dying alberto. Because you demarcated baby as an uncromaya tema. And your baby are not bet messy dying. And your baby are not bet me the containers. Your baby are not bet me the kiosks, but they say, dear, assembly for no need this can. Woman, I'm seeing this and Chiomina. Because I'm no more abusing these people as victims. Omoje kakra mo si for containers here. Omoje kakra si for what here. Baby a buying statutory body crowd there. Obi statutory body need there na share that fetch way a bind there by adawa ache. A buying crowd is not using it if actually na share that for paper. Just say it is the people who work at the district assembly, the planning department, STD. Omo na yes sir. The minister must shine her eyes and start arresting people. One sure for breaches in the law. Now momu not getting away with murder. The Ebenya woman no. We are not getting anywhere. And planning the because of mine I say many ho. Do many of mine mo kakra no so time. So let me take you back to a year first NPP for no. And NPP for Dr. Baumi amo try as bet me I build it omo party back to power. What you say? And once I buying air tries or no be fix system no because any and I can me see be push my system no fix it. It doesn't matter them did you do am be did atem. Mu did atem 1 million crowd will push government. Government cannot hide. They are buying baby will push am. We go push am. We go fire am. We give am pressure. Mo pa mo fire jandam 1 million times, a gazillion times, a times. We don't care. We push government. I been be anywhere above criticism. And I been be anywhere bet me say you're criticizing into a betche. Because you're criticizing responsibly. You know more do ba atem didie no ma didi atem obi hune obi tintin obi tietia obi yete na you see e man tie bia ba na say I like them could you share the money at them say would you obi didi atem kwa em fa ho. Yes, because it's not the issue is not about insult. We must keep our eyes on the price. The issue is about governance. There's a social contract between yaya and yetuaba. And it doesn't matter whether to abani be want to abani be to tax or to the automatic once a way citizen no abine tia konya so the abine owes you a duty to deliver. Any failure on the part of abine to deliver no, it gives you a right to question that abine. It gives you the right to question that abine. And most I'm sending message and jandam sending 1 million times we go fire 1 million times. Sending it 10 times we go fire 10 times. It is time I also buying a city up. Yeah, ma buy me diversionary tactics. Yeah, ma buy me that. It's been a here 72 hours. Oh, Your man, President Mama, say President Mama, Kasani, oh, you day ground. Make we see, say you are not in support of some of the insults, some of the attack, some of the abuse on Kasai. And now, Mama, President Mama, the Nana, Beto, President Mama, the Nana, yeah, we congratulate President Mama, we congratulate him. Award or the people we are seeing, and say Shirano. For him to even be sitting on the stool, as sitting president, I mean, this is a glorious thing. It's a glorious thing because then see that the sitting president, whilst he's sitting as president, commander-in-chief of the armed forces, whilst he's on the, it's a beautiful thing. But let's stay on course. Electricians we hear effect. But they hear so they say we need answers. We need answers as to the entire. They say you more for electricity, but electricity, and they say you met you for it now. Just say and they can insist on most of the places. Because metro for catches and sure pete and opinion and answer it do another there will be a massive storm. Nation to empony dum so nation better. Nation to you dum so nation better. It's another do the grand missy baby better sumu. When I crowd me who free how quack sumu. Oh, if you have phone cry with a year first backup and I would it. It's sad. And we need the president anymore. Is he and I commend the president. Sometimes the commanding and I do move for no more pressure. What I say, but we must commend the president too because even electricity no an air can want them no. Doom son an air can want them. Made the Oma speech. He acknowledged that. So what? He acknowledged that. So what? What I say? What? Into the facts say. ABI immediately no, he will not respond in just on say what? And that's what the president said. Solving no money bad, but Makacha that say Akosomo is not the reason why I'm not doing so neighbor. And to restore Akosomo, yes, a bit me some part in there is stable, but so and madum so no go away because we have a fundamental problem which is investment in the energy sector. Investment which because see this is the president Wakache say under 24-hour economy no. Companies are choose so joining 24-hour economy, 50%. But 1.5 years, we are paying more for electricity. You see, almost because the president assured us say 24-hour economy never. Obia joining 24-hour economy. There's a system where you're more 50%. So what happened? I need the Obia to have more for electricity. And for that matter, don't even talk about say you are paying more for electricity. Meanwhile, it's coming from your pocket too. It's coming from your sweat and toil. And we have to say it. But not just about say I think that we demand answers from the energy minister. The energy minister must speak. The energy minister must explain to us why we are paying more for electricity. And it's saying do so by energy minister by a press conference explaining. We expect him to also explain to us why we are paying more for electricity. Why we are paying more for electricity? Seriously, you must tell us. And in this week, that has been one of the major issues. I think this week, from electricity board to doom sonakasasem, and then the subsequent push by minister to push Akosombo for some restore. Baby, almost in Kenya, no problem. And Akosombo has been restored, but then the part of Accra, part of Ghana, Yedum Kanyano. Which brings me to Napo Asemo Kanyasem Crawford the Nena. So ono Napo. See, and this is a missing diversity taxes. People are determined say on diversity taxes because someone him say Napo bi anapo nyo bi anepe Napo asemti o ma sheda e be di ntro e de egu Napo so say Napo e na akwa oma committee ECG for Ashanti region ama oma akwa ka kire omo say eyi omundum kanea no e na NPP for ama omusika who says say kanea na yeduma ye be na Ghana ha plan map ben e na yedi tumi check say NDC for nkwa na tia and NPP for Nkwanetia. Which map? Which map? Sometimes you see when people are concocting intro to come and sit on air, just to come and defame other people because of person say na podi into also can be no. What can say dream was and trona would intro na fata YQ ana because it's except only obi all low IQ obeka say na po akotua obika say ECG for ndum kania na po baby ECG for ndum kania no. Data no war bet say on NDC for Nkwaneto. Because Ghana ye fra. And there's no way Napo or even ECG can know say area and this even baby I will say what the NDC strong gold. You 1PP for her. You 1PP for her. And it doesn't make it so senseless. So just to divert attention. Diversionary that is all. Ya mo bia sheda kwotena se akokukun tro. ntro de abase na napo na akotua ECG foka say no napo no opposition no osika de betua ECG foka say omundum Ashanti region na da bi onka even say no kre say napo otua obi ka say ondum kania napo no sebi wasay so obeka kire obi say Duma Ashanti region no ye ne constituency ne region ni Ashanti region to obeka kire obi say be Duma Ashanti region. It just doesn't make sense. Abai me say abai government tell Mufu soldiers no any communication for no munjai propaganda no mun focusing on marketing the nation, marketing presidential policy. President Mahama ye me say catch moko cabinet, catch information minister. Non can check a party minim say general secretary is part of cabinet. Catch NDC general secretary non can check penifoni nyina any particularly food soldiers say. Sabre in government no communication propaganda wudi nya power no yemfa no anso mbu aban. It is the best propaganda in government is to market a party. Market it to the party need the oye. To the party know what the party is delivering. The solution na party need the aba. Roles a party need ye. What you say project and party na starting. The party need better so all to so highlight it. And you say obedi the attempt and answer what concocted a propaganda story just to attack your opponent. You are in power. You are not in opposition. You are in power. What power? Yenye propaganda. What power? What you do is marketing. You market your good works. President Kufuor be free power. Mokoti a special project be no moye Ghana then Ghana now. Omo the signboard they see particular place so much roadway near betu ni say and they road na say these are the things you must do. Project yourself. Into NDC near from now. Men call be a platform so go sending messages to insult the person. It won't market your party because look 2028 elections na ebano and you done deal for NDC sir. And something you done deal for NPP for the some more deficit. But then you done deal for NDC because at them did among crop for did no come lose base in bebre. Lose base in bebre. At them the no kwano has cost you about 1 million votes. At them the attacking everyday Ghanaians, ordinary Ghanaians, and also woman protect your interest. I did your matter because one go complain you do at them. One go away do at them. Now they are trick be or mafa. Omudi atem wi ane akotoka amawe omudi atem wi ane akoye we amawe omudi atem wi ane azo we that's what I be ma okakra. You can't bribe people. Ghana for do say na to about 17.5 million into be bribe you obi udi atem wi ane akọ no udi atem wi ane akọ bribe no and it say Bank of Ghana cry than no ho ya ye meeting bloggers just to you push them say monka say why Ghana Mufu soldiers into me even in any case, how did Bank of Ghana even become political organization? I say bloggers in KB mine. Bank of Ghana, they are central bank. I won't for beyond how. What do you say? We are regulator. You are regulating. You are regulating. What do you know? That's what you do. Regulate and regulate. Now the NSA of Frank Crawford and the Bank of Ghana for into meeting bloggers for bloggers to tell them polish Bank of Ghana. What do you need bloggers for Bank of Ghana? You need your message to go out. But Bank of Ghana, because I won't need message be out. What do you say? Manage the economy, stabilize the system. So for Bank of Ghana, you are doing a good job. You are doing a good job. It's minim the NTF they say, mo pesa mo force ma ebe to say we must just say no, it's not Bank of Ghana's job. It's not Bank of Ghana's job to do propaganda. Yours is to focus and deliver for the people. When you man on why because government come, Bank of Ghana will be there. And we must protect Bank of Ghana. And I don't make a president mama, so can't change the cabinet. No can't change general secretary of NDC. No, the solid guy. No can't change party full soldiers. Baby, I won't be a marketing party. And ye did the attempt. And ye obey young for that one will not get you vote. Because NDC more elections way, you managed to sweep more than 1 million votes. And you got extra majority in parliament. But Nina, a coffin. In 2028, Julius Debran Bebo, Atu Force you, Eriko Poko, Harun Edriso, Vice President. It will be tough for NDC. It will be tough for NDC. Because of one of the key issues, no one make on Monday, Wednesday, me catch him. Yeah, I hold Jatabi. Moama Kofa, a friend saying Jataba. And a Moama no Namakasi, Mofosa Mo Jinoso. And then Jataba Nankasa. Na no say no police mosquitoes more they mankasa. So you come after you and come after more Makanyina. By a building Ghana, send a president Mama Christmas message. Or see any NDC Ghana, any NPP Ghana, which was even a lesson to NDC food soldiers now. Moya propaganda and they say, Momon City Abromushian Yansabi from their president Mama Kay. They were not ready to listen to the knowledge now president Mama de Momono. Or Momo the NDC and quite young for. Or see any NDC Ghana, any NPP Ghana. And the other say, yeah, building on mine. Yeah, building or mine or minor cononym. In the building or minor cononym, it doesn't matter if NDC is criticizing or NPP is criticizing. Criticism nimu ni finance and ya koyanim. Criticism nimu ni finance and ya koyanim. And if you so jan no the market party I toilet to her. Now no I honorable I don't go call the chrome. Nikadika machine no de betu way. Unkofo say there, but at least or also say there why no. Nikadika machine. Na me the na social machine nikadika machine ya in 600,000 you said hey. Nikadika machine is also a billion. That one was strange to me. Say Nikadika machine because the argument that some people critics were making against Honorable Adongo is that Nikadika machines are achievement and but you see, I think they know the can slow because look, maybe the biggest asset ni Nikadika no almost no. But in order to follow the president Mama can say we should not be mediocre. And if Mr. President Mama can, we should not be mediocre, then a portion. We must do something better for the people. We must do something better. Machine there, just say aiming at factories for our people. Aiming at factories for constituency. In the constituency level, quite a small factory, they bet me for 20 workers for a factory. Let's aim at that. But perhaps honorable I don't go more on so level no. Ebia Nikedika machine no so your level of factory. Because for all you know, and also for a few workers. But at least he's showing the also oil. At least he's marketing what he's doing for his people. Now what they won't show no. Now what they would do at terminal. Only I don't go one ye. What won't show no. Why ye? And this brings me all the way back to 2028. As some America say, NPP force or multi committee, they are bringing Kennedy Japan back now. Because look, the base na Kennedy Japan here is serious. NPP for and the base no will collapse and collapse NPP in its entirety there, but it can weaken the front of NPP. In fact, it is because of Canada Japan need the base no maybe it cannot be an NPP for performance near slow. You see, Canada Japan yet on one case atem didieno and people say it atem didieno or no so you can come. But now he's a change person, and that's one thing I like about Canada Japan. At least on where did he attempt cry or change it. Na NDC for momo crop for di atem momo se son and omo dey answer omo ko ba crash no be di atem omo sama cry be di atem what you say and to Canada Japan at least he's made an effort to change. But the point I'm making is you cannot take away the fact that a lot of the youth because of the exuberance of Canada Japan to omo pe Canada Japan and to do na Canada Japan nya no man go to omo so omo nko. And that is what affected NPP for in places like Greater Accra region, Ashanti region, Eastern region, any their strongholds and traditionally no win, That is why I'm advising NPP for say, look, and yes, I must say we are called to committee. Yeah, the opponent for you to committee, you called to committee. We are trying to unify the party. They don't say unity. You must do proper homework. Merely by setting up committees. Now the Brian Champion or the Canada Japan. Baomia, or the Educhum, or the Quabre Japan at one, and non qua unity them by force. Because NDC force almost politics, and they understand grassroots politics. In the NDC, so will not take this 2028 elections, no lying down. What they will do is, do election, no more Pianka Kregum. Pianka said they say so much stabilize the city, don't be Pianka Kregum. And they will make a friend saying the system no solid. What I say? And system no be so no be nyanka credit and NDC is a party that knows how to almost check amobiedi. And NDC and Gaza no catches obi abedi peche no. They know, they understand the politics of Yenchendi. NDC for understand that politics ni ebecha amona so bi aso. And NPP for my almost a crash for the ebecha ne yenkwaya di. Nti omo no NPP for the omo kwa ne crash for na di. And they don't sit there and say that go be for say 2028 no is a done deal. Mo sorry ya na moko. Mo sorry ya mo kwa kotena. It's not easy because NDC is going to match you. And Dr. Baumia must sit Canada Japan down, not just Yambon Komokeke. Sit him down, say, how is Canada Japan going to bring the base? Because the base second day Japan admit you or admit you in a group. Or admit you in a group. He must bring them. 18 and NPP for national executives that ya punish a friend saying abwa papon ya punish way ya ma way mano. They should have stopped all that. Who opposition who yadom. If you don't sit down and do the homework the needful, na man for bia ama together, especially Samu base for na man can no mo nyina come and talk mo yama and then na dia we no mo benya. Don't sit there and think that NDC for an NDC is making a lot of mistakes. NDC by we have seen some of the mistakes that NDC is making. NDC, in fact, who says as a president mama or yeah, reshuffle says he must sack them and let them go home. But just because NDC for making mistakes in just NPP for we knew. Just because NDC for is making a mistake, no just NPP for more winning. It is a man homework a year number 1, which is bring Kennedy Japan and the base on board. Ain't a branch any friend cook and a Kennedy Japan call from call him to order. I also call a boys and say it is a Mugiyaro. And then I'm kind of boys boys into me drawn as I'm saying, I don't know what MPP is trying to do. Said they are trying to create NDC for Ibrahim or American, they are trying to create the same thing in NPP, but you must stop it. You must stop it. You cannot say that what the Canadian Japan, Brian Champon, Dr. Duchum, Canadian Japan, out to 2 committee, but still you let a year friends Abronya continue to do what he's doing. My Abronya cost on the program. I have no qualms about it. I'll be a hypocrite to say that Abronya in the program. But in semi the and the attack internally against more internal people, no, Dr. Baumia be bold and call him to order say what your own guy. Because there can be no unity. If somebody who is perceived, again, the Amekachi NDC for Nebi, Abronya is an agent of NPP too. Dr. Baumia will yes, although a regional executive, but Dr. Baumia Abronya will come. During the campaign, you want Abronya on your platform talking. But catching no Tony down. Internal politics, internal attack on each other. No, na lose elections. Na more election, and lose majority of your seats in parliament. Must lose more than 1 million votes at a presidential level. And if you want all those people to come out, for instance, say we have 1.5 years now, about 500,000 of those people that voted for Mahama, no matter back to NPP, I'm sure. Say only Omokasa, Brenu will say they've come back. But just because 500,000 out of the number now 1 million plus no to Mahama almost back to NPP to come and vote for NPP. I don't just say we know because when you say to win elections, no, you must have half of the total vote count plus 1. Half of the total vote count plus 1. It's a simple sir. Into Baumia, what this is what Baumia must be more concerned about this than anybody. Because Baumia who now photo back ballot box do ballot paper who now photo back also. Dr. Duchumo or they won't be on the ballot box. One now would be ballot paper so. And you need to call Abronya to say that see unity in the air. Semati committee nam the way we to tone down. From now on was toned down. Frekoka, not say coca, so tone down. Because Baumia, your leadership skills will be questioned. This is the time that Baumia, now that you have set up these committees, which is a commendable thing. Why are there so attitude committees? But beyond the setting up of these committees, we will judge your leadership by your ability to call your people to order. You see, President Mama on calling Obia to order, and that's why we are criticizing President Mama. But the same aspect about Obia the Baba also. You don't need to be president as any questions way. So if you cannot call Abronya any coca nominee idea to order, say look, at them the internally is only dividing the party apart. Because Mumutia committee the Canadian Japan account. Because the Canadian Japan so bro. And on one say on one so winning or 10 1 just to damage you people, bet damage you keke. And to call all those people, they say you cannot win 2020. 2028 and simple sao. Say NPP for say 2028 near done deal. Done deal. And done deal. And it must come from within, internally unity. And son, I'm about NDC for so. Say NDC for mistakes on 1, 2, 3. So far we've seen that I'm saying NDC has not been able to fight it. Galamsey NDC for ye dede aso mo blueprint ne now aso mo book no my solution ni na ho my friend almost omumba jubilee ape no mo de aba 1.5 years NDC to me fighting Galamsey ensuo ba kokra ni wani ate ensuo ba kokra ni wonu mani ate what you say and the NDC has not been able to fight Galamsey. They cannot lie to anybody say me see ye nkola enti ejise nkola no pe na bi NDC be try to omu dada they cannot come and lie to anybody. They cannot come and lie to anybody. Eyi need omu to me nyeye. Galamsey, 1.5 years NDC has not been able to solve Galamsey. And yet you told the Kufuor to say on declared state of emergency, which NDC has not been able to declare 1.5 years. Now LGBT bill law no come to me passing na Galamsey. LGBT crank over say straightforward. The entire Ghana for voters in Cremofo, Christopher, non-aligned though, Omunina support say LGBT no de yenye. And I'm my MP sing in a Besine. NDC has not been able to pass the LGBT law. Now Galamsey no bet me aden. Galamsey no bet me aden. Enti MPP for before you come and even deal with President Mahama about the issues that he has failed to say Galamsey, to say job creation, he's not created the job that he said he was going to create. President Mahama has not been able to deliver on some of the things or cash or 24-hour economy on starting 24-hour economy Tamale Hospital. We must see. To see 24-hour economy what started, it must be visible to everybody that you are started. And also, I'm not saying Julius Debra never contest here. It's easy for Julius Debra to campaign because you have delivered on ABC. Who they want to be in a top 5 for President Mama? Who to be delivered? Say Julius Debra never. Professor J. No pocket my at force it to be easy for them to campaign because they have something to show. They have a record. They have data. They have something to prove. But so why yet? Now it's now. Then the MPP for to be solving your unity in the 2028 masturbation. It's the MPP for must say they themselves only first point they must show say they are hungry. They are hungry for power. But hungry for power, and one of the things on the bench say they are hungry, say solve your internal problem. Who we are, then you can come and deal with NDC. Because NDC is in power. The same thing how they dealt with you, no. Most someone dealing with NDC say you want to see where the governance is. You want to see where the support system is, where the delivery is. Nyamana omuka sombe deliver na wahe. Ebiani OSP asemi. OSP NDC supported him in opposition. Then finally when they come to power, I say you office is going to go because office no kwa invalid because constitution no kwa mandate to say OSP be prosecute. Really? Meanwhile NDC one position man can same way down. Oh man, I don't know go Fedamika so no as Attorney General and an officer representative of government gave that prosecutorial power to OSP. Second matter should be closed. But still, NDC insists to say OSP case now see a different in some. I think anything that my brother Mama again he addressed it was Mayday, as to say. I think we've gotten to a point where we must acknowledge. We must acknowledge say OSP no has come to stay and the crime or one more meeting afaswa. Remember OSP are more efficient and they should do it. This is what President Mahama said, and that's why I commend him. This is what he said. In the MPP for homework from now. Do your homework from now. Start doing your homework from now. So you start checking the system. Start fixing internally cracks via Abba. Kwabere Japan there who's on there. On Dr. Baumia cook a crowd that better educhum now so must do his own homework and build himself in a certain point. Baumia must work on himself. Kennedy Japan work on that unity, but Kennedy Japan because he's an internal opposition with the numbers into a car. Now already Alan we see muka say Alan in your face and I shan't read it. Bisi na no me na let's not them. But Omianya 1.3 something vote, 1.3 something million votes in Ashanti region. NPP for President Mahama enya 600,000 plus votes, almost 50% of the votes that NPP got. And that's why I was saying that if NDC no more use to attack dogs, no more attack Ashanti region for yen do more can because I want a stronghold. Yen take Ashanti region for one because over half of MPP for vote na munyaye. You cannot dismiss that vote. From 27% of the total vote in Ashanti region, NDC rose to 33%. This is not a region that you must insult, and this is not a region that you must attack. Hey. Region Yakuta just 27% of the total votes, but then they added more, even more. In fact, they said total votes of a year first total vote NDC in Ashanti region is more than vote NDC voter region. The total vote almost 700,000 votes in Ashanti region and NDC it is more than the vote now NDC voter region. Many NDC me so Ashanti region for me. They are not to about on block sir. NPP for buy even though NPP for claims a World Bank or man deliver a Nema project rose near their mom, they voted against them. It's going into 2028. If you do not want them to also vote against you and patrol NDC, do the needful. Do the needful. And make sure, say, Jumano de SSL fata. I mean, seriously, there are very few things you must do anyway. And every region be a major issue be a in any case, there are certain small things I bet me I am a buying and casano. Who bet me they are two winning. So what I say? A buying and casano bet me they are two winning. Deliver for them. Say jobs here, boys, see Ben and Kamahama, or the China for you, Korea for you, factory. What they have 5 regions to pay, establishing factories. Now the end start keke. That can push a lot of favor for you. And my goodwill na air conform no na abaso because so far there. Atem did anything, my goodwill no conform. And this is the time I was a babak. NDC for Ankasa percent or winning 2028 now. NDC must make sure that they bring back the goodwill, which is why another make call on President Mama said you need to apologize. No, be able to say one can't no because a lot of people are offended. Are soft one year they are offended. And then you na ya Mary Uzi. Ebe didi a Pentecost chairman atem keka na adwenkyere no. Although this man is not a political person or chana adwene keke, but people attack him. And then ni na ye oni they call fuafra TikTokers so. Sanche ndu baby oni they call so President Kufuor so. And President Mama must be bold. Said they make catch about me to be bold. And President Mama himself too must be bold. Bold enough to let us know say on supported the omo ye no. And that would your job is to ensure that Obia Benya baby atna and that you will solve Ghana's problem and leave a legacy